Hello, welcome back to the second half hour of the Fearless Aging Show. Where in this half hour, I'm going to play for you one of my most important master classes. Well, most valuable, I think. It's entitled "How to Stick with a Healthy Eating and Exercise Program." You know, we've given you lots of information about how to develop a personal exercise program and a personal nutritional program, and there's so much information about that all around. But how do you actually stick with it? I know so many people have, began a healthy eating program or a healthy exercise program and haven't stuck with it. And so in this masterclass, I go through the big reasons why most people are having trouble sticking with it, and actually what you can do. These are proven things that I've worked with my clients through the years that are proven to really help you to stick with it so you'll actually get the results. See, that's the key. We know that if you do every exercise in a proper way, you're going to get some benefit. There's no way you cannot. And the same thing, if you change your diet, you begin eating more whole, real organic foods, you're going to have a lot more energy. You're going to feel better. So many things are going to go away, aches and pains, all these things. So we know that they work, but you have to do them on a consistent basis. So I think this is going to be a real valuable for you. So I really want you to watch this. It's really going to be helpful for you. It gives you all the things I've learned in my 43 years as a personal trainer and health coach of what you can do that actually work that will help you stick with it. And I know from experience, if you can stick with your wellness program for 90 days, you'll get so much good results. You'll look and feel so much better already that's really going to motivate you to stick with your program for the rest of your life so you can enjoy all the benefits. All right, so get ready. We Hello, I'm Rico Cavaglia, creator of the Ageless Living Lifestyle, which is a complete mind, body, and spiritual wellness system that I've been developing and creating and teaching and living for the past 40 years with great success for my clients and for myself. So I know that it works, and I know that it'll work for you. So I want to welcome you to this free masterclass that's entitled The Secret to Sticking with a Healthy Eating and Exercise Program for Long-Term Success. So I'm so glad you're here because I'm sure you're like most people. Maybe you've tried to stick with a healthy eating or an exercise program, and maybe you didn't have too good success, and maybe you've tried it many times and just haven't gotten frustrated and haven't stuck with it, or maybe you have never even started one. So now why this is so important is because there's actually no debate about the benefits of eating healthy, whole, organic foods and having a consistent, proper exercise program. And we know that it works. That's the great thing about everything that we have to teach here, is that if you just do it, you're going to get really good results. So we know that how important it is. But the thing is, it doesn't matter how good of a program you may have if you don't stick with it, right? If you don't stick with it, you're not going to be able to get the results that you want. And I totally understand, because I had the challenge as well myself. We all live in such a busy rush, so many things going on these days, in such a busy world these days, and life happens. And so I know that sometimes it's almost impossible, and we're going to get off track. But you got to get right back on again. That's the key, to get right back on again. And the thing is, the way to do it is, I just already mentioned, when you realize that what's important in your life and that you need to have a healthy, energetic, fit body, then that'll get you inspired to get back on track again. So that's what really works for most people. It's when you're off track or you even haven't got started, you start to think about what is my life about? What do I want to accomplish? What do I want to achieve? What's really important in my life? What do I want to enjoy all of my life? Then you realize, well, I need to be healthy and energetic so I can achieve what's really important in my life, and I can enjoy my life, all of my life. It's really about health span, not lifespan. Doesn't really matter how long you live, but you can live a long time, but you may be really unhealthy and sick and old for a really long period before you die. So that's not good. So you want to have our health span. We want to be healthy all of our life if possible, and we can. You just have to make the effort to do that. So in this training, we're going to go through the three main components that you need to address in order that will help you to really stick with your wellness program. So as you can see on the first slide here, it doesn't matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. So again, I know you're really busy, but you just got to get started and keep progressively working on your plan and don't stop. If you don't stop, you're going to get there. You're going to achieve your destination of being healthy and more energetic and enjoying your life more and making a bigger positive difference in the world. So I just want to mention too that unlike any other online training programs that you may see or take, whether it's for business success or finances or for relationships or whatever, it may be the great information, but that doesn't mean it's actually going to work for you because there's so many variables. But this kind of a training for your health and your wellness, it absolutely will work for you. You can't fail because look, if you exercise a muscle, there's no way that it's not going to get toned up and get stronger. It absolutely will. If you eat healthy, more energetic whole foods, you're going to have more energy. You're going to have more vitality. You're going to have a lot less illnesses. You're going to feel and look a lot better. So there's no question about that. So all you have to do is just commit and progress at your own pace, and you're going to get some really great results. Okay, so now that we all agree on that, let's see what we need to do to stick with your program. So there's actually a spiritual and a mental and a physical component that you need to address to stick with your program. So the first component is your spiritual component. Now, what I found in all these 40 years of working with people, there seems to be a disconnect with many people between their spiritual self and their physical self. And in reality, it's actually one and the same. There's no separation. They're totally connected. And I think that, whatever your spiritual or religious beliefs are, I think that the vast majority of people believe that there's one creative source that created us, and that there is a hereafter, that we have a soul, not just our physical body, and there's a hereafter we die. We whatever it is that we do or go that we're not just a physical body. So the whole concept is that it's my belief that we are all eternal spiritual beings here on this planet with this physical body, and we have a divine purpose. And I believe that divine purpose is to use our unique talents and abilities to help create what we would call heaven on earth. As you know, right now, we're far from that on this planet. I mean, we're still killing each other, How stupid is that? Okay, so we got a long ways to go, and we need everybody to use their unique, what they can contribute to, so that eventually we can create peace and prosperity and good health and wellness for everybody on this planet. Can you imagine how amazing that would be right now? We were all living in peace and all cooperating and helping each other and collaborating. It could be an amazing life. That's the world I want to live in. And I hope that you do as well. So if you think about this, if you go along with what I've just mentioned, that we are here with this physical body, and our physical body is our gift from God or the creator or the source, however you want to think about that. It's our gift in order to have these physical experiences and to learn and to grow and to enjoy all these amazing pleasures that we can on this planet Earth. But it's also to live our purpose. And so therefore, if you understand that and you're connected to your spiritual self, then you want to be as successful with your physical self as you possibly can. And of course, how's that going to happen? It's going to happen if you have a wellness program and you keep your body as healthy and as fit and as energetic as possible. And also, if you think of God as your creator, well, and God gave you this gift, your soul, this gift of the physical body. I don't think you're not going to not pay attention to it or take care of it or enjoy it or appreciate it or be grateful for it. You're going to take the very best care as you possibly can. So, and then of course, we all want to look and feel our best as we age, all of our life. So that's why it's so important to stick with your program, and you're going to just up level your life so much. It's going to just make your life, take life to another level. So I hope this resonates with you, and you'll make your healthy eating program and wellness program a top priority in your life. So that's the spiritual component, which obviously is the most important. Now there's a mental component. So the mental, in order to achieve any goals or anything that we want to achieve in our life, they really have to be tied, as we mentioned earlier, to what's truly important in your life. You know, what is it that you really feel that's important? Or what is your life about? What do you want to accomplish? What are your goals? How do you want to make a difference in the world? And what do you want to enjoy the most? Or what do you want to be successful at? So once you get clear on that, then that's going to keep you motivated to actually accomplish those goals, right? Okay, so here's the thing. It's all about clarity. First, you have to really know what is really important and what you want to accomplish and what your life's all about. So I've got a couple exercises for you here that's going to make a really big difference for you. So again, because you want to really know what's possible in your life. You know, what do you want your life to be about, and what do you really want to achieve? So I have this thing called the 30-day clarity exercise. So I hope you're taking notes. I want you to write this down. Here's what you do. For 30 days, get just a piece of notebook paper, you know, like a lined notebook paper. Actually, if you have like one of those spiral notebooks, that works the best. And you take your page and draw 2 horizontal lines across. So there's 3 equal spaces on your page. And each day you write in each one of these categories, where I'll tell you about in a second. But don't look back what you wrote the next day, and do it for 30 days. And it's going to be amazing what happens. You're going to get some real good clarity. So the first tough part is, what do I need in my life right now? Maybe you need to get some dental work, or maybe you need to get out of a bad relationship, or maybe you need to get a new job, or maybe you need to stop complaining, or maybe you need to get healthier. You know, what is it that's really, you need to do? I need to make more money. I need to, whatever it is that you really need, that's really, so just, and don't stress over it. Just take a few minutes. Whatever pops in your mind, just write it down. The middle section is, what do you really want in your life right now? Now, this can be all the way from, well, I want to make a new friend, or I want to get a new car, or I want to travel around the world in a yacht. You know, it can be anything you think of. Just write down a few things that you think that you really want. Okay, think big. And in the third place is, what do you want your life to be about? You know, really, what is your life about? Maybe what's your legacy? In other words, what did you achieve? What contribution did you make? At the end of your life, what do you want to look back and say, hey, I really accomplished quite a bit. I did something of value in your life. So again, you do that for 30 days. Don't look what you wrote the next day. And by the time you get to the end of 30 days, you're going to be so clear on what you really need and what you want and what you like to be about, that you're going to have a lot of clarity. So then you know what's really important in your life, what you want to accomplish, what you need to accomplish, and what you want your life to be about. So I hope that makes sense to you. I promise you, if you do this exercise for 30 days, you're going to be so glad that you did it. Now, here's another exercise. It's called the 7 whys. In other words, once you know what your goals are, what you want to achieve, you have to know why you're doing it. See, most of the time they have initially you have a kind of a superficial concept of why you want to do something. In other words, so what's one of the biggest goals people have? I want to lose weight. Well, first of all, that's not a goal to have. If that's your goal, as you know, most people are never successful at that. It's like the world's worst New Year's resolution, right? Nobody ever accomplishes it, rarely, or keeps with it. So losing weight is not a goal, because losing weight is just something you need to do in order to accomplish what your true goal is. And when you start to dig down, like say the 7 whys, then you'll see what your real goal is. So if someone tells me I want to lose weight, well, I'll say, why do you want to lose weight? And they'll say, so maybe I can wear some better looking clothes. Okay, well, why do you want to wear some better looking clothes? Well, maybe then I'll just feel better about myself. Well, why do you want to feel better about myself? Well, then maybe I can get a better job. Well, why do you want to get a better job? Well, maybe I can just, support my family better. And maybe I'll have more friends. And then you start to get down to it. And usually when you keep on going down, asking yourself why, it's good to have a partner to ask you this, but you can do it yourself. It usually comes down to something to do with your family. Well, I want to be healthier and energetic and more successful, so I can be a good role model for my children, or so I can make a bigger difference. So when you finally dig down, then you'll find that's why you're doing this, what your goal is. And these other things like losing weight, it's just something that you do in order to achieve your goal. So I hope that makes a lot of sense to you. Okay, so the key here is to keep in mind why you are doing your exercise and your healthy eating program, your wellness program. Why am I actually doing this? And when you keep that in your mind, that'll keep you motivated to do it. And remember what Einstein said. He said, persistence is genius. Absolutely. Just keep being persistent. All right, so that's your mental component. And one more thing is, don't get discouraged. It takes time to develop your overall program, because it's going to be changed. You have to tweak it, have to see what works. You keep learning, you keep adding things, you keep working on it, and it becomes easier, and you keep learning more. And the more success you have, the more it keeps you wanting to go. So again, like the first slide was, just you can go slow, you can go fast, but just keep going. That's the most important thing. And then the third component is the physical component. It's about what you're actually doing, what you're learning, how you're moving your body, all these things. Okay, so along the physical component. All right. So number one, there's three major things here on your physical component. A big help in sticking with your program is to have a program you do it with somebody else. Actually, ideally, most people have a family. Do it with your family. Create a family wellness program for each individual and do it together. Do as much as you can, do exercises together as a family, or at least with a friend. And for healthy eating, everybody loves to eat, and food is such a big thing in our life, right? So what you need to do is get your family together and learn about what are the healthiest foods for us to eat, and get some help individually, what's best foods for individual, and how to go buy them, go shopping together, come back and make some food together. Now, I know this may not be possible all the time, but if you at least did it a few times just to get people involved, especially your children, it's going to make a big difference. And try as much as you can, prepare foods together, and have your meals together as much as you possibly can. That's going to help you to really stick with whatever you're doing. I have a saying, you've heard the old saying, the family that, plays together, stays together. Well, the family that is healthy together, is well together, will stay together as well. Now, then number two is you got to schedule all the activities that you have on your plan, whether it's your eating plan of deciding what are the best foods that you need to get, where to get them, how to shop for them, how to prepare your meals, when you're going to eat, all these things, you have to schedule it. If you don't schedule it, it's not going to work out. The same, particularly with your exercise program. If you don't say, well, on Wednesday, we'll get some exercise, but I don't know when, that's not going to work. You got to set your schedule, when you're going to do your exercise, what it's going to be. And then the only way that you you don't do it on that day is if something emergency comes up. You got to make that a priority. So you got to stick with it. And for a family thing is maybe get a bulletin board and schedule it and show what everybody's doing and what time they're doing on this particular day. That'll make a big difference. Or you can just do it for yourself as well. And then the third thing is to evaluate your progress. Maybe have a weekly meeting with your family or your friend and just talk about what you did and maybe some successes you had or something you didn't do, and help each other to do better next week, or just talk it out and recognize, when you have other people to help you and support you and you're supporting them, it's going to make a big difference. It's really going to help you to stick with your program. So that's basically the physical component. That's the three components. So I hope that made a lot of sense to you. And I'm not sure, but I think maybe in the advertising, I told you why when you actually develop this type of a program, it's going to be a lot of fun. Well, well, to me, learning about the components, what's our bodies required to be healthy and energetic, and learning about foods. And I like to shop for foods and see what's new and different. I like to go out and get the foods that I want. And of course, exercising, a lot of components of exercise are a little tough, but some are a lot of fun. So all those things can be fun. But if you don't think it's fun, if you don't think shopping or making food is fun, or you don't think exercising is fun, okay, so here's what my advice is. Okay, but start to do it. And the more you do your healthy eating and your exercise program, you're going to begin to look and feel so much better, have so much more energy, that you're going to start having a lot more fun in your life. So therefore, it's going to make you have fun. Does that make sense? Okay, I hope it does. Okay, so now I want to just take a minute because I let you know that I have some help for you. Now, I know you might be thinking this all sounds great and absolutely agree with everything I said, and you want to do it, but still you just think, I just don't know, I'm too busy, I'm overwhelmed, how am I going to do this? Well, I can understand that. So I want you to know that I'm here for you, and that's what I do. I'd love to help you develop your own personal program, and so that you'll be doing the right things safely and effectively, and you'll get the results that you want. So, coaching is known to be the surest and fastest way to achieve your results. So I have 2 new online coaching programs where I can work with you no matter where you live. We can do it on Zoom, or we can do it by phone, or however. And one is more of a group type of a 90-day program, and then one is one-on-one where I work with you every week, live with you every week. But anyway, if you're interested in these programs, they'll be really valuable for you. So you can go to agelessliving.lifestyle.com/coaching, and I think that you'll get all the information there. And then if you're interested, if this looks valuable to you, it'd be really good to get on a call with me. You can go to chatwithrico.com and book a call and ask any questions, and we can go over it and see how it could work for you. So, and we're going to post these links right at the end of this video. All right. So also now to wrap up, I have a gift for you. It's my ebook called Be Bold, Never Be Old. And it's really the 10 biggest mistakes that most people make that are making them leads to premature aging, and an aged old body, disease and old body, and an early grave. So you're going to learn how to avoid all these mistakes so you don't have to become old ever, and you can have a great health span. So you can find that on my main website at agelessliving.lifestyle.com. Well, there's actually a direct link where you can download that, and we'll show that on the screen just in a moment. So my last words to wrap up here is having a personalized wellness program will not only be life-changing, but it can be life-saving for you. So it's so critical that you can turn around any kind of health challenges you may be having, any kind of problems that you're having in the field of health or fitness or longevity. There's answers, there's solutions, and you can do it. You can overcome. We are so much more powerful than we give ourselves credit for. We can overcome anything. And it's our birthright, it's our nature to be healthy and vibrant and successful and live a long, healthy life. That's what I want for you. I want that for myself and for my clients, and I want that for everybody. And we can do that. And when we do that, then, as I said earlier too, then we're able to live our divine purpose and help to make it a better world for everybody involved. So I look forward to working with you, and I wish you a very healthy and happy long life. Be bold and never be old.